All right, party people, welcome back to the program. I am Merle on the Move. Let's go ahead and get started with the rest of the show. So, before I left, I said that I was talking about some sports. So let's let you know what's going on with that Brooklyn Nets, man. Because I'm shocked. I'm shocked. The Brooklyn Nets cannot beat the Boston Celtics. Now, I'm not a hater, but I'm not a Celtics fan. I'm a forever Lakers fan. I'm not just a Lakers fan. I am a forever, ever. I'm a forever Lakers fan, bro. So, yeah, never will be a Celtics fan. Saying that to say, not to say the least, never will be a Celtics fan. But I love Jason Tatum. He's from my area, St. Louis area. You know what I'm saying? I love Jason Tatum, but I will never be a Celtics fan. So, KD and Kyrie can't beat the Celtics. Jason Tatum is putting it on them. Not looking good. They were saying that at the beginning of the season that they was the favorites to the Nets. Brooklyn Nets were going to be. They had James Harden though when they were saying that. James Harden was Philly lost today too. So, in sports, it's been going crazy. What's going on there? Milwaukee's been struggling against the Bulls, Chicago, DeMar DeRozan. If the Lakers had got DeMar DeRozan, I'd be having that Lakers jersey on right now. I'd probably have 3 Lakers jerseys right now. I got one LeBron Lakers jersey. I'll probably have 3 by now because I probably have 2. I probably have another LeBron jersey, and I probably have a DeRozan jersey. DeMar DeRozan is balling. Shout out to him. The Bulls, y'all got a good one. He wanted to go to LA. I seen him. He was on All the Smoke podcast back in the summer, and last summer he was talking about how he wanted to go play. He from LA. He said, "Yeah, I wanted to go play with LeBron." They went with Russell Westbrook. Now look where y'all sitting at. Y'all sitting at home. And DeMar DeRozan, who was sitting at home last year playing with the Spurs, is now in the playoffs. So, that's all I got to say to that. So, I don't have no dog in the hunt. I really don't care who wins. Phoenix is looking good. Miami's still looking good. I'll give you my picks. Since I don't really care, I'll give you my picks. I'm picking out of the East. I'm not going to say the Celtics. The Celtics is looking good, but I can't say the Celtics. I'm going to stick with the Bucks. I'm going to stick with Milwaukee. Because the Sixers, they ain't proving nothing to me. The Heat, I like Jimmy Butler now, but I ain't sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to rock with Milwaukee. I'm still saying Milwaukee out the East. And the West, I'm saying it's going to be a rematch. I think it's going to be Phoenix and Milwaukee again. Phoenix and Milwaukee. I don't know Golden State, though. Take that back. I'm rocking with Golden State. I think Golden State can win it off. There you go. Merle said it. Golden State Warriors and the Milwaukee Bucks. And Golden State going to shoot their lights out. Golden State going to be NBA champions this year. That's what I'm saying. They got Clay. They got Steph. Andrew Wiggins. They got everybody, man. They got a squad. I was telling you guys, Terrell Owens is in some new football league. I don't forget what it's called, but it's like some arena league going on right now. I don't care about it too much. Tyson Fury is fighting or has fought. I don't know. I don't understand what this ESPN thing saying, but saying that maybe he's already had to fight. I know it's tonight. Maybe it happened already. If it did, I missed it. But if not, I'm going to check it out. Anything else going on in sports? I don't think so. Baseball starting, though. I don't really care about baseball till July. That's when I'm going to get into that. So, talk about that. Let's go ahead and move on to entertainment. So, Better Call Saul, which is a spinoff of Breaking Bad. It's back. I've started watching that, and it's really good. Matter of fact, it has me going back to watching some more Breaking Bad because it's that good, right? There's a show called 1887 that I'm gonna start watching. I'm gonna start streaming that show. It's kind of like Yellowstone because I finished that. That was really good. Anything else? There's something else on television I wanted to share with my listening audience, and I cannot think what it is right now. So I'll probably move on from that then. Let's go into the music. So I was telling you guys I was going to talk about Benzino. And Benzino, if you know who he is, he used to own the Source magazine. And he also was in a group called Made Men out of the Boston area. They was notorious. They used to they used to rob, getting all kinds of, rob people, but they used to get into kind of a whole kind of stuff. just hear stuff. I don't know him personally, but I used to hear the stories back in the day. And hypothetically, basketball. Speaking of the Boston Celtics, basketball player Paul Pierce. I think Paul Pierce in the Hall of Fame. He's NBA champion. He got a ring with Rondo and Kevin Garnett, right? Big ticket, Ray Allen. Paul Pierce got stabbed up at a bar in Boston. And it was supposedly or rumored to be something to do with Benzino and his crew, made men, that stabbed him up. He almost died. I think he got stabbed like 18 times or something like that. A lot of times. I don't know. It might be not been 18, but it was more than a few. Yeah, it wasn't looking good for Paul Pierce. But he recovered from that. Yeah, Benzino's crew, made men. So anyway, his daughter, Cora Ray, was on the Breakfast Club, and she was talking about when he was on the Source magazine, when he owned the Source magazine, him and Dave Myers, something like that, owned the Source magazine. And they lost it. And I guess he had some financial problems, and she kind of put it in layman's terms and said he was broke, and he wasn't feeling about that. Because, he wants to be known to have money. It's Benzino. And now he's got a diss album because I guess 50 Cent said something about it. So now he's trying to get a diss. And the record, I heard it. Our record's not that bad. Benzino, type it in. Maybe try to get some clout. You might have seen his face on Love and Hip Hop, something like that. But, the record's not bad. He's coming. Benzino can rap. He's not like real bad. Him and Eminem had some beef too. If you want to check the history on Benzino having some beef, he had some beef with Eminem, which is also another reason why 50 don't like him. Because you know what I'm saying? Speaking of, I'm going to tell you some other stories here in a second. So 50 don't like him because he came at Eminem. Eminem has some beef, with Benzino. Got songs that Eminem got songs about him and all that. So speaking of 50 Cent and beef, so Jay-Z, it was I told you guys last week, I even put it in my title on my YouTube page, that Snoop Dogg was on Drink Champs. And Snoop Dogg was talking about owning Death Row. And in the midst of that, Nori, who sometimes probably shouldn't say some of the things that Nori says, but Nori put out that Jay-Z had said that, Jay-Z is in charge of the Super Bowl, right? The talent, the musical talent for the Super Bowl. He's in charge of that for the NFL. And I guess Nori asked him something about why wouldn't who would say the game or somebody wasn't on the show, or how 50 Cent got on the show, and Jay-Z said the white boy. Now I'm quoting, this is what Jay-Z said. The white boy, that's the white boy's call, saying that getting 50 Cent on the show was Eminem's call. And 50 was upset because he referred to Eminem as the white boy. I get it. That's not cool. Wouldn't be cool if somebody said the black boy. Nah, that's his black boy. That was the black boy's call. So it's not cool for Jay-Z to say that. But this is what I got to say about that. I'm sure what he said to Nori was not supposed to be reported to the public. It's a lot of things that people say behind closed doors that if they came out, they'd be exposed, right? I'm not saying they're going to be canceled because I don't believe in that, but you will be exposed to who you are and people will treat you as such. That's what should be better than cancel culture. It should never be some kind of, I'm canceled. There's no such thing as that. I don't know how people think they got privilege over to cancel a human being from doing something. Don't make sense to me. But that's not appropriate for him to say that. But at the same time, that was not supposed to be reported. Nori overstepped trying to be, because he's media now. You know what I'm saying? You lucky you close enough to have Jay-Z's attention. You got Jay-Z's ear, right? And you gonna quote him saying this? You need to think about that. But anyway, so he asked that question, putting Snoop on the spot, and Snoop said that was Jay-Z's call. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was Eminem's call, right? And that's what Jay-Z confirmed that was Eminem's call to do that. And Snoop said, well, it's like Dr. Dre, Eminem and 50 close. Eminem signed 50. When 50 was looking for a deal, Dre didn't sign 50 Cent. Dre's the producer on 50's album, but 50 Cent was signed to Shady. Shady, he had a whole bunch of deals. He had Shady and Aftermath. So he had a deal with Shady because Eminem deal is through Dre. You remember that song? You signed this to it was this and Dre saying you signed to somebody to sign to somebody to sign to somebody to sign to somebody. All of y'all signed it. All these big time rappers. Dre was signed to Eazy-E, who was signed to who owned Ruthless Records, that was signed to Priority Records. So Priority owned Ruthless Records, and Ruthless was owned by Easy, and Dre was not owned by Easy, but Dre was signed to Easy, right? And then he left. He was signed, supposed to be partnership with Suge, but pretty much signed to Death Row, which was owned by Suge, because Dr. Dre did not own Death Row. Think about that. Everybody say, when you think about that Death Row, you think about Dr. Dre. That's why Dre left. That's why Ice Cube left NWA and Ruthless Records, because he had no ownership. He was making all the money, writing all the songs, and not making all the money, but writing all the songs was making all the money, but he wasn't making all the money. And he left to get his own thing. Same thing with Dre. He left there. Suge helped him get out of there, and then he went to Death Row. That wasn't working out because he wasn't a real partnership. So he got out of there and he started his own. Aftermath is owned by Dr. Dre. That's his thing. He signed Eminem. He signed, who in turn signed 50 Cent. But there you have it. So that came out, and so 50 Cent was dissing Jay-Z about, saying what he said about Eminem. That's what 50 do. He ever coming at somebody. Anything else in entertainment news? Says to pay the baby, something. Make the style. Oh, Chris Rock. I said I wouldn't talk about that. I'm gonna say about the Chris Rock thing. So this is how I feel. So Marlon Wayans was on the Breakfast Club. He's a comedian. I like Marlon Wayans. He's not super funny. He's not a guy I follow, but I like Marlon Wayans. I liked him from what was that show? The Wayans, with him and John Witherspoon and Pops. Bang, 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 bang. Pops. The Wayne's TV show was funny. I used to watch that that little 30-minute sitcom every time it came on. I loved it. On the UPN network. Who remembers the UPN network? That's a black network. They had Moesha. They had the Wayans. They had the Jamie Foxx show. They had Girlfriends. They had a couple other black shows on UPN. But where's that at? And that was on network TV. We're not talking about cable TV. The UPN network was on local television. If you didn't have to have a subscription to watch the UPN. I remember that stuff used to be dope. I remember Fox TV used to have a lot of black shows back in the day. What happened? Bring black comedy back to network TV. Speaking of network TV, I'm gonna get to this other thing here in a minute about the I'm gonna get to Netflix before I get out of here, before I leave our entertainment. Talk about Netflix. But speaking of, go back to what I was talking about Chris Rock. So the Red Table Talk. I don't watch that, but it's a Facebook thing with my man Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, and they have a daughter and a mom and other guests on there. They had Janelle Monáe on there. I think they recorded this episode before the controversy with Slap, but now it's coming out that it says here that his mom, it's Chris Rock's mom's got some comment about it. His brother Tony Rock's been talking about it, but Marlon Wayans was saying that he feel bad. Everybody's saying that Will need therapy, and he feel bad for both of them because he's friends with both of them. I kind of get that, but people are going to make jokes. One thing Marlon Wayans said that is true is Will was yelling out, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth." And it's like, well, if you wanted him to keep her name out of his mouth, now all these other people, including myself. I mean, I'm not finna diss her. I like Jada, but I'm talking about it. Now, everybody talking about you and your wife's business in a negative way. It's not nothing positive behind what happened. But I will stand behind this. You have to watch what you say out your mouth. Some people die and get killed because of the things that they say. This mouth, this space you got between your chin and your nose can get you killed. Saying it to the wrong person. Is it justified? No, it's no justifiable homicide unless you're protecting yourself or property. Words can never hurt you, but it can hurt your feelings and allow you to act out of character if you don't have good grounding. So maybe he is going through something. I'm sure it's your wife. When it's your wife, sometimes when it's somebody you love, sometimes you got to do the things you don't want to do. Like, man, I don't want to have to put my hands on you, man, but you asked for it. You asked for it. I don't want to have to do this. I'm stepping outside of myself. I don't want to have to do this. But you put me in a position where I got to do this, man. Otherwise, it ain't about her no more. It's about me now. Don't justify it. Once again, I said this before. I think Will should have went up there and checked him. He could have checked him right there in front of the world. Grabbed the mic or whatever, said, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth, Chris. What are you doing? You keep on doing this, something going to happen to you." He'd have been like, I'm telling the joke. I mean, with the jokes. Could have checked. He didn't have to slap him. Did not have to slap me. I understand why, but didn't have to. So I think Jada should either, I don't know what she's trying to do. Because Will Smith, let's talk about this too. Will Smith is a way bigger star than Chris Rock. Will Smith was a way bigger star than Jada. So let's talk about that. These are the two variables, right? It's Jada. He was, supposedly holding her honor. That's his wife, whatever. And she was the one that Chris was talking about. Because once again, Chris didn't diss Will. He didn't say nothing about Will Smith. He said something about his wife, about Jada. Jada didn't jump up and do nothing. She just rolled her eyes. Will got up and did something. Will was the one that lost the most. Think about that. Will won the best award of the year of the night. That's what everybody was there for, to see that. He was the man. And his wife, who's supposed to be his backbone, felt slighted. And instead of her taking a high road or being prepared, having a plan, or reacting different, or when he got to stand up, or when it happened, she could have grabbed his hand, because she know her man. She could have grabbed his hand and made sure he didn't. Squares his hand a little bit. No, this is not the moment. She could have did that. Or when he got to get up, she could have got up and grabbed, no, baby. That would have been dope. And if she'd have seen him getting up there and grabbed, no, baby, don't do that. We bet this I not. We better than that. Let Mr. Joke Man tell his jokes. We catch him later. That would have been dope. But instead, she watched her husband go up there and do what he did. That's what men do. I'm not saying that is a manly thing, but men do those things. And women do it too. I've seen women get out of character and go up and slap somebody. But hey, it's happening. And he lost the most. He's the villain. And I'm sure Will recover. I like Will Smith. I'm gonna finish that episode, that show too, because Marlon Wayans is on that show. Speaking of, that's when I was like, how you gonna not Will through your bone, put you on the show? You playing his daddy on the show, the Fresh Prince, that Bel Air show. It's on Peacock if you want to check it out. It's called Bel Air. But yeah, I don't know. That's how I'm stop talking about that. Let me move on from that. Let me talk about Netflix. That's the Will Smith. I still believe that Chris Rock should not have been slapped, but I still believe that he deserved to be slapped. Maybe not at the Oscars. He should have been checked. You know what I mean? But maybe I shouldn't say deserved to be slapped, but it can happen. I understand it. Netflix. Netflix is talking about that they lost 200,000 subscribers in the last 3 months. Pandemic. See, when the pandemic, everybody was talking about watching movies and streaming service was popping, Hulu, and there's so many of them. Think about this. Do y'all remember when Netflix was in? If you had a Wii, if you had a Nintendo Wii, you would get the Netflix, right? Because that's the only thing you really watch on the Wii, right? Because you had no streaming service. But when you had a PlayStation and Xbox, you could stream stuff. You can watch YouTube, you know what I'm saying? You can stream like movies from the PlayStation Network or the Xbox Live Network. You can stream movies and stuff. The Wii didn't have that. So the Wii was like, oh, you can get the desk from Netflix and you can stream movies on the Wii. So people were doing that, right? And Netflix was popping, right? And then it was like Redbox started popping up. And you get video games and movies from the Redbox, and everybody was on that, right? Even some of these little convenience stores had the little video movie boxes inside the stores and stuff. And then Netflix was like, you know what? We finna kick it up a notch. We finna take over. We finna have straight streaming, no disc needed. The straight sign up. Boom. It was like $7.99 or $5.99, right? Everybody was on it. Netflix was the only streaming source, but they were only streaming movies that was already out. So they catalog movies and, put them in a streaming site. Then Netflix started saying, you know what, we're going to build our own. They started investing in themselves. Shout out to Netflix. Invest in themselves, built their own studio, and started creating their own budgets. And then started getting actors and giving them money for more content. Content is why people come to your site. We come to your site because we want content. We want to see new movies, new comedies, new cartoons, and all that stuff, right? So if you ain't got the content, your content, we gonna keep coming back to your site. So then and since they was getting content from CBS and ABC and MTV and all these other movie studios and stuff, these studios started saying, you know what, since we own the rights to all this past content, we got all this old stuff, and we got visions of creating new stuff, we should license and start our own streaming services. And that's hurting Netflix. It's not the subscription. that's hurting Netflix. It's these other streaming sites. First it was Hulu, and then it was Amazon, and then you got Crackle, and you got Popcorn, and you got all these other big ones. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So that's hurting Netflix. And then yes, people do share. They share accounts. How do you stop that? How do you stop people from sharing accounts? It's gonna hurt you. It's gonna hurt your business because people still watching your content, man. Commercials is a way to do it, but you don't want to do commercials. Hulu does commercials. Have people pay more if they don't want commercials. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about that. I'm gonna play some music and I come back. I'm gonna talk about Ukraine. I'm talking about Mariupol. It's amazing how humans are, how we can be so unhumanitarian. I got it right. It's awful. So I'll come back and talk about that a little bit. Plus, I'm gonna go with some other local stuff here. It's Brother Move. I'll be right back.
Hey man, we were serious about that, man. Nothing else. We had limitations on the studio. Only a couple can come back there. I don't give a fuck.
All right, welcome back. Well, let's get started with the last portion of the show. In this portion of the show, I'm gonna go over what's going on in the world. And to me, it seems like the world is upside down. Like how can a major country be attacking a smaller nation? And we just like, we're gonna send y'all some support. Is that what the world's coming to? That's where we at. Anyway, I don't want to start there. I'm going to start, actually, I wanted to start with former Senator Orrin Hawk has passed away. I don't know what state he was from, but I know he's a Republican. I know he was not in favor of a lot of black agendas. So, my condolences to his family, but I have no feelings either way on that. Also, I was talking about Trump. So before I came into that, I seen Trump was at a rally in Ohio. He's out there giving support to people that support him. I keep telling y'all, Trump is transactional. If you rock with him, he'll rock with you. Sometimes you got to rock a little harder to get his attention, but if you rock with him, he'll rock with you. And so he was out there. He wasn't talking about nothing. Trump talking about I got money from China and this blah, 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 blah. I heard him say nothing about Putin. I heard him say nothing about Russia. Don't know. The election's coming up, midterms 2022. We're going to see what's going to happen with that, right? He was blasting a couple of people, though. Mitch McConnell. If you go against Trump, one thing, he will call you out. Real talk. That's why probably why some people like Trump, because he will call you out. They're saying they take the mask thing, protocol, whatever it's called, is on airplanes at airports, I think, is being pulled away. So some people's getting upset about it and protesting and all that stuff. So I don't know. Mask mandate, that's what it's called. I'm trying to get my people back here on the radio here, I don't know. It's like, I think they're using it as an excuse now. Because COVID is COVID. It's going to be here. There ain't nothing you can do about it. And that's what people were saying in the beginning. I used to fight it. I used to say, well, no, the government knows they're talking about. No, it's going to be here because people lie. Numbers don't. The numbers was a lot of people's dying. A lot of people's getting sick. Just like the flu. Now, once again, it's not the flu, but it acts like it. Airplanes. Mike Tyson. I don't know, but I'll tell you how I feel about this. Mike Tyson, I seen the video. Everybody probably seen it. Mike Tyson, former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson, was on the plane, minding his business on the plane. Some guy, idiot guy, to me, my opinion, idiot, is messing with Mike Tyson. You got to be an idiot if you taunting. That's what I'm saying. People don't respect people. You do things and you think that you can do it because you want to. It's repercussions and consequences behind everything and every action that you do, period, point blank. This man decided, I'm going to mess around with Mike Tyson. I heard they said in the story that Mike Tyson took a picture with the man and all that, right? But he just kept on antagonizing Mike Tyson, kept on messing. You can see in the video, Mike Tyson mind his own business. This Iron Mike Tyson. Mind his own business. This man steady tight, being funny because you know some guy, he ain't even recording himself, somebody else is recording. I mean, he knows the guy's recording, so he's playing it up. He's playing it up. He's getting his 15 minutes of fame. He ain't famous for nothing. Don't nobody know this man from Adam. But to him, this Mike Tyson, so watch what I do. Watch me now. Hold my beer, right? Okay. And he messed around with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson got tired of it. And the story says Mike Tyson warned the man. Or something to that effect. He got tired, turned around and pieced him up. Back, 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 back. Pieced him up. About 4 or 5 blows. Back, back, back. It's Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson swing at you and connect to any punch. You lucky you survived. Is Mike Tyson wrong for that? My opinion, nope. Nope. Do I condone violence? Nope. I don't condone violence at any moment. But again, I understand. And on this one, if I'm on a jury, not guilty. He ain't did nothing wrong. I'd have pieced him up too. Matter of fact, get some more, Mike. My opinion, no. You asked for it. You got to know who you're talking to. Because if it had been anybody else other than Mike Tyson, you wouldn't have been doing that. If it had been Brad Pitt, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, none of them guys, Mark Wahlberg, you wouldn't have did that. You wouldn't have been acting like an idiot, trying to get some attention because some dude is recording you. You wouldn't have did that. You got to know who you're dealing with. And once again, yeah, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and Brad Pitt wouldn't have did that to you. You wanted that to, my opinion, you wanted that to happen. You wanted Mike Tyson to put hands on you. And guess what Mike Tyson did? He put hands on you. Because I believe, in my mind, if I was to antagonize Mike Tyson, he'd do me like that too. But see, I'm smart. I ain't finna antagonize Mike Tyson. If I know somebody's a killer, I ain't finna push him and see if they gonna kill me. I know he a killer. I ain't trying to die. That don't make me no punk. That makes me smart. Because, yeah, can Mike Tyson lose a fight? Yep. Can Mike Tyson die in a fight? Yep. But the chances of him losing that fight are slim. The chance of him dying in that fight, if it's hand on hand, is slim. Only way you got a chance to beat Mike Tyson in a fight really is with a gun. Really. You got a whole lot of people. Or you catch him with a jab and with a knife. You ain't finna beat Mike Tyson with your hands. Unless you're a trained boxer. And even those don't work. You might get lucky. But I ain't betting on it. So my opinion, yeah, Mike Tyson, salute to you, my man. I definitely want to get that interview with you one day. Because you're my guy, one of the guys I look up to. Been a fan of Mike Tyson since I was a child. Love me some Mike Tyson. I have a picture on my wall, Mike Tyson, with a whole bunch of money in the ring. Yeah. Big fan of Tyson. Salute to you. Leave Tyson alone. A matter of fact, I should have pieced him up. Matter of fact, one of his homies, Tyson shouldn't have had to do that. Tyson didn't have to put one of his homies in. If I was with Tyson, if I was in Mike Tyson entourage in that situation, Tyson would have had to do that. I'd have pieced the dude up. Tyson would have paid my bond. I'd have pieced that dude up real quick. I definitely would. And I ain't taking that back. If that was me and I was in Tyson's entourage and I was sitting like Mike Tyson on that plane and that dude, that idiot was doing that, I'd have pieced him up myself. Said Mike Tyson got up and walked off the plane. Tyson's a gangster. I better leave Mike Tyson alone, man. Shout out to you, Mike Tyson. But yeah, the thing in Russia, situation in Russia, it's taboo. I talk about it every week. It's taboo. It's just something going on. People keep threatening to do things, and we just like we living life as normal. You know, we going to the games, and you know. Shout out to me, you know, I'm doing things too. I'm living life too, making changes in my life, making big steps, making strides in the world. Next week, the radio show, hopefully, I got some changes going on. I will be changing. Shout out to the people listening to the show. Shout out to my man Randy. Shout out to Cindy. Shout out to Cody. Shout out to Oz. Shout out to everybody that continuously listens to my show and hits me up and messages me and texts me and let me know what's going on, that y'all listen. That's from my local people. Not to mention my out-of-town people. Low Key, and my man Slick, Big Delancey, my moms. Shout out to my moms. Shout out to Tom Beal. I know Tom still be listening to the show. That's my guy. So don't think y'all sleep. Don't sleep on Merle. And matter of fact, last week some people sent me some snaps that they was listening to the show in their car. Shout out to y'all for doing that. Merle is the man. I feel good. I got people that really respect and rock with me. I appreciate that. Next week, hopefully I'm changing the format. Like I said, gonna add some flavor. And y'all know this on YouTube. Rolling the Move. All the first letters is capitals all together. But hopefully the format, I'm gonna bring my man in here. It's gonna be live. Y'all know, because my show is about guests, because we keep it live, the conversation going. I know y'all tired of just hearing me talk. I know y'all tired of just hearing my perspective. You know what I mean? I'm tired of just giving my perspective. So hopefully I can get back to the live debate. Y'all bouncing off. Y'all can see people here in the studio sharing the love in this nice, beautiful studio we got going on here in Ames. So anyway, I'm out of here. Chuck D and the Don't Stop comes up next. We'll be here live in the studio next Saturday. And I hopefully we'll be announcing the new format for the show, because it's all about growth and development, right? I'm not a GD, but I believe in that part of the of the GD, right? You know what it is. That was Merle on the Move. See y'all next week. Peace.
Freedom boys, we them. Hey, freedom boys, we them.